Morning, everybody. CSL, see me. That's right. Here's what we sing. Oh, I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on Spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on Spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind. Are they on? Stayed on Spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. With my mind stayed on Spirit. Walking and talking with my mind stayed on Spirit. Walking and talking with my mind stayed on Spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Steve Fowler. Yeah, give it to him. Give him some love. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on Spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on Spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on Hallelujah.
Woke up. Me too, right? All right, that's it. And so it is. Let's go home. Hey, don't stop, because the world is amazing. There's so much going on, I don't even know where to begin. Well, I think the first thing, I know, it's not even a think, I absolutely know. We all know where we were 21 years ago. We know where we were. It's burned into our minds. We'll never forget where we were. And we should never forget what happened on this day. 21 years. It's amazing. So let's just have a moment of reflecting on the power of love, the healing power of love. So feel whatever brings love into your body. And now I want you to radiate it out like a wave. We're going to push. They say that California shifts the world. Let's shift the world with a wave of love, and let's chant love like an ohm. Love. Love. One more. Love. May we never have to experience anything like that ever again. Ever again. So you were talking a minute ago about being tired because we sang and danced so much at the top of the service. Well, our guest singer today has COVID. Can't be here.
Darius.
So we're sending him some healing energy, as well as sending healing energy to Greg Seymour, who's also dealing with that thing, he and Letitia. And so that's why he's not here, and why Costa is in the booth. Whoa! This is a Francides day. Joyce is back with the Cosmic Kid. She's a Cosmic Kid Guardian of the Galaxy back there. That's awesome. Yeah. So as a result of Darius not being here, we are now dubbed, all of you are now dubbed the guest artist for today. We will be the one spirit, one voice congregation singing
Sunday
all of the songs.
sing-along.
It's a Sunday sing-along. So you're going to do the music. I will do the music. I'll do the music. Led by the L's and the Slells. Oh, Lores.
No, I'm at the S at the end of the L's.
Oh, you're the S at the end of the L's. That's so cool.
Yeah.
But how would we do that if we only have one L today? L. We're
My middle
channeling
name
Lynn.
is Lisa.
Your middle name is Lisa. That's great. That'll work. That'll work it. Yes, indeed. There's so much going on. Couple of weeks from now, we're going to be going to Trouble the Water. And all of you that are going, so excited that you're going, we qualified for the group discount rate. However, we had just a little bit of a snafu in communicating with the theater, so it's not $20 a ticket, it's $25 a ticket. Okay, so one less Starbucks for each and every one of you in the next couple of weeks to make up for the extra $5, all right? So it's $25 you can pay Daniela after the service, and also we're going to look for coordinating people who are going to ride with each other. We're going to meet here at 4:30. You'll get more details about that for each and every one of you, but I just wanted to make it clear that we did have a little bit of administrative snafu there. It's $25, not $20, for Trouble the Water. It's going to be so much fun. Don't forget, pack your own lunch, and today, is it right? Yes, today is your last day to sign up because we need to buy the tickets. We're going to buy the whole bulk of tickets so that we can all sit close together, right? So we're going to do that, and then you'll be paying the church back. So we're going to put the front money out. We trust you, and we know where you live, and we know where you worship, and we know how you pray. So that's all good. It's also the second Sunday of the month. That means it's Volunteer of the Month. And the Volunteer of the Month, for the month of August, see, because always it's the month previous, is, are you ready? Hit the button. Boom.
Didn't hit.
Hit the button. Boom. John Mizialco! See, we couldn't put the name on there because then the slide person would know who it was beforehand. So come on up here. Come on up here. You know, this guy has jumped, Maz has jumped in here, and, you know, he showed up. He let us see his alter ego of Dave, the drunken monkey. The gift. Oh, that's right. Yeah, right? When we were talking about optimizing the gift a couple weeks ago, he came up to me afterwards and he goes, you know, I am the gift. So from now on, I want Jan to call me the gift. How's that working for you?
There was one note in the morning. It said, good morning, the gift.
Yeah, and that was it.
Oh,
You haven't seen it since. Well, at least that's good because she really loves you.
You know, I'm patient.
Yeah. You keep, yeah.
I'm patient.
You'll keep going?
I'll keep going.
All right.
Whatever it takes.
All right. Well, this says Volunteer of the Month for August 2022 for, well, we're channeling your inner bodies for her loving support. We don't care about genders around here. For her loving support and participation in our spiritual community, and for being one who has served effortlessly, making a difference for many, and for being the example of exhibiting the values of the Center for Spiritual Living, we honor, we thank, and we celebrate John Mizialco. Did we spell it right?
That is correct.
We did. We spelled it right?
Oh, yeah.
Boom.
Thank you.
There you
very
are.
much.
There. Thank you so much.
Happy to serve.
I know you are. Sweet, sweet. But he truly does exhibit all of these principles that we're going to put on our screen in just a minute, the things that we do, the vision and the mission that we adhere to on a daily basis. Here it is. Oh, we can't do it right yet. We have to wait and let him sit down because he's double doing. He's receiving and he's also working. There he is. Okay, you ready? Let's go. We're community, inclusive, loving, and authentic. We celebrate all paths to God. In gratitude, empowering self and others. We serve compassionately through outreach, inspiration, and education. That's who we are. That's why we're here. And here's what we do. Thank you, Reverend Rob.
I have it on good authority that one of the things that we do here is pray. So I invite you to join me in our opening treatment, sort of setting the stage for what we're expecting to experience. So we know the truth. We start off grounded in truth, knowing that there is only one. One body, one spirit, one mind. And each of us is an individualized expression of that one. And we are here gathered in community to express the divinity of all that is. So from this place, we know that the service unfolds wonderfully and perfectly. We are in gratitude for this center, for the rain, for our teachers, for this teaching, for the long history that it has. And from this place of gratitude, we release this word to the law, and the law says yes. And we accept this, we exude this, we are this when we all say, and so it is.
How can I serve today, sweet spirit? How can I serve today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I
Talk about sweet spirit. How about our cosmic kids? We have some cosmic kids in the house this morning. All right. Meet me by the door under the exit sign. I'll take you back to the guardians of the cosmic
Emily's
kids
in the
galaxy.
house.
Emily's here. Yes. That's right. All right, and just want to let you know, if you would like to apply to be a guardian of the Cosmic Kid Galaxy, you do have to apply, then either see Daniela or talk to me or talk to Darlene. And next week, after service, all of us guardians of the Cosmic Kid Galaxy will be meeting after service to talk about our lesson plans and how we're going to work it with our grand leader, which is Tracy Adams, who's been writing incredible curriculum under the tutelage of Dr. Susan for so many years. She's really great and has created some wonderful, with her art and creative talent, some awesome curriculum for the kids. So if you'd like to do and participate in that, then see us next week after service. Meantime, I'm going to go hang with the kids. Rob, you're back. Okay.
Power of mind at work, right? Right?
Right.
There we go. Okay. So we say this with a firm, positive affirmation. Okay, let's do this one. So I'll read it once, and then we'll all read it together. The creative nature of spirit works for me by working through me because I recognize, believe, and trust in its power. Together. The creative nature of spirit works for me by working through me because I recognize, believe, and trust in its power. So my reading today is from the Science of Mind textbook by Ernest Holmes. As much as we can believe will be done to us. When the consciousness speaks, the law receives and executes. When the farmer plants a seed, they invoke the law. That which follows is done by the mechanical side of nature, which has no volition of its own. We are thinking, willing, knowing, conscious centers of life. We are surrounded by, immersed in, and there is flowing through us a creative something. Call it what you will. The sum total of our thought, will, purpose, and belief creates a tendency in this law that causes us to react, that causes it to react to us according to the sum total of that belief. How much can one demonstrate? Just what one can believe. How much more can we see? How much can we accept? How much can we find in our consciousness that is no longer repudiated by our denials? Whatever that is, that much we can have. And so it is.
And so it is. Okay, you guys ready to sing? Remember the song when Eve Evans was here? God is doing something wonderful in me. Let's start our service with that sentiment. Here we go. You'll get it in a second. You hear us sing it once, you'll get it. God is doing something wonderful in me. God is doing something wonderful in me. Something awesome and incredible, and only He can get the glory. God is doing something wonderful, incredible and awesome. God is doing something wonderful in me. All right, you can sing better than that. God is doing something wonderful in me.
God is doing
Something wonderful in me. Something awesome and incredible, and only He can get the glory. God is doing something wonderful, incredible and awesome. God is doing something wonderful in me. One more time. God is doing something and only she can get the glory. God is doing something wonderful, incredible and awesome. God is doing something wonderful in me. So wonderful, so wonderful, so beautiful, so beautiful. God is doing it on the inside. God is doing it on the inside. And it's showing up on the outside. And it's showing up on the outside. God is doing something wonderful in me. God is doing something wonderful in me. Something awesome and incredible, and only He can get the glory. God is doing something wonderful, incredible and awesome. God is doing something wonderful in me. God is doing something wonderful in me. God is doing something wonderful in me. Right on.
Now we turn to the other side of the coin. You hear how quiet it is? That's when God speaks. When we quiet our own minds and we can connect with that sacred place inside. So let's do that for 3 minutes. And then when the 3 minutes is over, Cherie will bring us out. And let's go into the silence. So I invite you, if you don't already take time to connect with the stillness and the quiet, I invite you to make that part of your practice. Namaste.
You know this beautiful chant, Om Shanti? When there is peace in my mind, there will be peace in the earth. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti Om. Peace inside of my mind, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside of my mind, God and only God I live to see. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti Om. Peace inside of my heart, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside of my heart, God and only God I live to see. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti Om. Peace inside of the earth, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside of the earth, God and only God I live to see. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti Om. 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 Thank you.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much. That was wonderful. Whoops. Let's see here. Bing, 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 bing. There's all kinds of stuff going on. It's live. Huh? Bing. Ricochet Rabbit. Let's see. All right, so this month, it's kind of the back to basics. We did the thing itself last week, that thing that resides within each and every one of us, and great reading that talked about all of that as well. And now this week, we continue to unpack those first 4 chapters. The second chapter in the Science Mind textbook is The Way It Works. So we talk about the way it works. It's nature, this thing itself. It has a way of doing what it does. And that thing that it does is to create. The thing itself loves to create. If there were a thing itself anonymous, it would be, I'm the thing itself. I create. That would be how it would identify. It can't help it. It just cannot stop itself from doing it. It's just everything, every way. And it does it through each and every one of us. Everything that is the manifest universe is empowered with this idea that it must be. It's a thought, it's an idea, and it comes into fruition. It comes into experience and comes into manifestation through the power of this thing itself. And because of the persistence of the way the thing itself creates, because it was just constant, nonstop. As Dr. Holmes looked at that, he was like, what is happening here? This stuff, it just will not let go. I think I'll call it a law. It's a principle. I can depend on this. I know that when I turn to this creative presence, it will do what my mind focuses upon. Now, it will do what my mind focuses upon without any kind of judgment about that. And so if our minds are somewhat clouded, if our minds are somewhat confused, our life will look a little bit less than what we might have imagined in our conscious mind. We talked about this before. Bruce Lipton wrote that wonderful book, The Biology of Belief, and in it he talks about how the unconscious mind can process tens of thousands of thoughts in a second, but the conscious mind can maybe do 60 because it just doesn't work that fast. So while you're consciously thinking about something, the unconscious mind is thinking about tons of stuff, and the universe gets overwhelmed by all that unconscious thought that sometimes our life comes out a bit confused. Because remember, this is a law. It wants to produce. It wants to create, and it's looking for instructions on how to do it because it doesn't, the law part of spirit does not have what's called volition. It doesn't have choice. It just has to react. It reacts to the feeling, the thought processes, the thought patterns that it receives. And when we're sending out all these unconscious thought patterns, he goes, whoa, I'm overwhelmed. I think I'll just make whatever these unconscious things are. That's much easier than trying to figure it out and sort it out. I don't have the brains to sort it out. That comes from us. We are the ones that have to sort that out. Since there's only one mind, there's only this one law operating, and we individualize that mind. We individualize its expression. The divine life that lives within each and every one of us is listening, waiting for our instruction, waiting for something to say, this is it. Which is why Dr. Holmes tells us that we must have directed conscious thought. When we have directed conscious thought, we put power toward this thing and the way it works. See, it's ours to accept this reality and to pay attention to our thinking. This is why we spend so much time in meditation. This is why we have practitioners. When our thinking gets confused, the practitioner can come and say, I know your truth. I know your truth. See, Marianne Giblin can sit with you and go, I know your truth. And then, like a ricochet, she sets up an idea in the mind. It reflects back as your experience in life. This is how we work this thing. But we must have a global view and a willingness to watch and to see. You know, there was this boat maker that would go out into the forest and search for the various trees necessary to make his boats. He took his son with him, and he's trying to train the son in how to do it. And he says, now, you got to pay attention. You got to look for the tall, straight trees. Those will be the mast. And look for the trees that have bends and bows. Those will be the ones that we can use to make the bow. Every tree will call forth for its expression, but we must pay attention to it. And those are the ones that we're gonna cut down and we're gonna use. And the son says, okay, Dad, okay. And he sees this gnarled oak. It's all bent up and everywhere. And the son goes, this tree, it doesn't look like it could be any good for anything. Why don't we just cut it down because we could use it for firewood? The father says, but we're not here to cut firewood. We're here to build boats. Yeah, but, son, we're here to build boats. So they go out looking for more boats, more trees for boats and stuff. And as the day wears on, it's getting hot. It's like, it's like September in Los Angeles. Whoa! So they finally said, we need a break. So the father says, well, let's go down the hill. They go down the hill, and he says, well, let's go sit under this tree. What tree are they sitting under? The gnarled oak tree. Now they're sitting there, and the father says, now what do you think of this oak tree now? He says, oh, we must pay attention. Everything that's happening for us has a perspective, a specialness. It has something that it can bring into our lives. And so Dr. Holmes tells us that our endeavor is not so much to find God, to discover the source of our personal being, as it is to become acquainted with God. We must become acquainted with God by becoming acquainted with all the expressions of God. The tall, straight trees, the bending trees, and the gnarled oaks. These are metaphors for the various personalities that we run across in our lives. The ones that sit at the stoplight when it turns green, and you're wondering if they're colorblind. The ones that are behind you, that are honking when the light turns green, that don't, in my mind, soapbox, he's behind me. I'm behind the car that's not going. You do not have horn blowing rights. I do, because I'm next to that car. But they blow the horn anyway. That's also an expression of God. All of that. But we must pay attention to it. We must become acquainted with that. And why? Because as we become acquainted with that, we begin to get to that place where we can decipher those things that are of our desires, those things that are of our hopes, those things that bring more harmony to life, and separate those from those other things so that our thought can be focused on the harmony, on the good, on the cooperation, and not on the divisiveness that's been taking place as we see so much. See, this thing, the way it works like a frequent flyer. It's like collecting miles all the time, collecting thoughts all the time. It's a frequent thinker, and these thoughts that it collects are reflected back really, really quickly. It's instantaneous. And the things that become this stuff, all this is charged with spiritual energy. It's energized. And because of this thing that works this way, what's happening here is this energy that it has to create something needs an outlet. And the outlet is the creation. The outlet is each and every one of us. We are the outlets of the divine. We are letting this really kind of frustrated energy, because it's just, I got to do something. It's like ADD, I got to do something. So it must create. And this universal life energy, we become the outlets for it. Everything is an outlet for the way it works. Everything. The thoughts that we have enter a medium, as Rob was trying to tell us, that's infinitely creative. And thinking and feeling are fundamental to how this works. It's kind of like, when I was growing up, I didn't know that the dramatics were metaphysicians. That's the word I was looking for. Metaphysicians. I didn't know the dramatics were that way, but they are. Remember that song? What you see is what you get? Yeah, that's a metaphysical song. Whoever knew? What you see is what you get. Exactly. In Living the Science of Mind, Dr. Holmes says that not only is there a presence within us which directly responds to us. That's okay, because I'm all about, I need to see stuff over and over and over again to get the message in. If you're here long enough, you will be able to recite some of my stories with me, and you'll go like, oh, he talked about this before. And when that happens, then I know we're all becoming aligned in the direct thinking that makes our lives better. So there's a purpose to my repeating things. Right? Is that good? That was good, huh? So, as Dr. Holmes was saying in Living the Science of Mind, not only is there a presence within us which directly responds to us, there is also a law operating through us which obeys the will of this presence. This is so, I find this quote to be quite relieving, in fact. Because what this is telling me is, okay, this presence that I'm a part of, that's a part of me, that's within you and everything like that, that's there. And the law, that's also there, operating through us, and it's obeying the will of this presence. That means that I really don't have to do that much. It's not like I have to really effort a lot to make creation take place. I just have to allow and accept that there's something working through me, that we're in a cooperative partnership. That's really nice. It's like a really well-oiled marriage. Things are working really good here. You see? But there is an uh-oh. There is an uh-oh. The uh-oh is that this law is impersonal. 24/7, 365, it's mechanically accurate. Like I said, it's like a mirror. It's going to reflect back to you the preponderance of your thinking. And sometimes it's like a mirror in a funhouse. Everything is stretched and squeezed and shut down. Like, that's not how I was thinking. And if that's happening to your life, this is why we have to go into spiritual practice. If you know, you prayed for something and it comes out like that, well, that's because maybe your thoughts were not as focused or pure. This is not thought shame police. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about living a higher experience of life itself and this journey that we're on. We're on this journey just to get better. So it's great that we screw things up sometime because that's how we get to get better. I mean, what's wisdom and experience all about if you don't have mistakes along the way to give you wisdom and experience? So this is just a part of the way it happens. But we must understand that this thinking makes it so. And we must understand that this life, like a mirror, and our thoughts, they kind of limit the limitless sometimes. But it's limitless. And we can move beyond the limits of our thinking as we become aware and become more acquainted with the experience of God as us. And we don't have to, like I said, it's not effort. It's not like I have to hold on to a thought. Ooh, I gotta get this thought. It's gotta da-da-da. No, I just have to know it. I have to know it. I know this. See, I don't like go to the light switch and stare at it and hold it until the light comes on. Nah, I walk in there and click, and I just keep on walking. I barely even, and now, if you got one of those smart houses, you just walk in the room, the lights come on. This is how this stuff is working. This is how the law works, because we embody the truth. We understand the power of electricity. We trust in it going to happen. So we need to trust in Spirit's manifestation in the same kind of a way. Same kind of way. Like the little old lady in this town. She was poor. She struggled to make ends meet. Inflation was bad. Groceries were not giving everything she needed. She was praying. She says, I just want some cornmeal and some milk. I want to make some bread. I just want that. And she's praying for it. She's just praying for it, right? She's knowing that it's happening, and she's releasing it, and she's letting it go. She gets up off her knees, and she's on her way. Well, this guy in the town, kind of like this town scoundrel. He was a trickster. He didn't like anything. He was a contrarian, and he heard this lady praying. He's going, yeah, right. Like God's going to give her some bread and some meal. And so he gets this idea, says, you know what? I'll show her. So he goes out and he buys bread and meal, and he drops it down her fireplace one day while she's praying, and right there in front of her, boom, it drops. She goes, oh, look at that. And she goes and she tells everybody her prayers have been answered. She's telling everybody in town, my prayers have been answered, my prayers have been answered. And the scoundrel goes, I bought that stuff and I dropped it down there. And she looks at him and goes, well, the devil may have bought it, but the Lord done sent it. Spirit, it's impersonal. It doesn't care how your good gets delivered to you. It will just bring it to you. But it happens because she embodied it. She understood it. She knew it. She prayed about it. Then she got up and she left it and she let it go. And then it came. Because she did it without effort, you see. This is how it works. Dr. Holmes tells us that spirit itself spreads itself over the whole universe and shouts at us from every angle. But it can become power to us only when we recognize it as power. It's always there. It's impersonal. It's a law. Boom, boom, boom. I'm here. But if you're not paying attention, if you're not turning to it and recognizing it, it can't deliver the good to you. This is our job. Remember, like a mirror, like the funhouse, a principle that is never less and is forevermore. Never less, forevermore. However, it happens through our experience and through our wisdom. We must trust in it. We must labor to not make it happen, but labor to allow us to understand that it is happening. See, the labor is not in the forcing of the outcome. The labor for us is in training and retraining our thinking patterns so that we accept that this power is working for us. It's a very minor adjustment, but it's there. See, the question is not its willingness. The question is not its availability to do and bring our good. It's ready to do that. Remember, 365/7, it's impersonal. It's a law. It's reflecting back our thoughts, our processes. It's not up to them. It's up to us. The question is our receptivity. The question is about our willingness to lay in the cut, as they say, and trust that. Can we do that? Dr. Holmes tells us that that so great is this power, so complete is our freedom in it, that the misuse of this power has brought upon us the very conditions from which we suffer. Sometimes we're like this guy, just banging our head against the wall. We're not paying attention. And this law, it's complete freedom. It's even allowing us the freedom to mess up, allowing us the freedom to make mistakes, allows us the freedom to suffer. But we no longer need suffer once we turn our attention to our good, once we recognize this power working for us and use this freedom to bring about the conditions of which we prosper, the freedoms and the conditions of which we honor life, the conditions in which we celebrate life, where we feel harmonious with life, not in those things where we feel down, depressed, or in suffering with life. In this situation, if we can be like Emerson, what does he tell us? Emerson, there you are. What's that one? Beware when the great God lets loose a thinker on this planet. Oh my goodness, is that not true? That's on the back wall. But the one I'm thinking about is when Emerson says, there's no greater small to the soul that maketh all. There's no greater small to the soul that maketh all. See, when we may experience the greater by conceiving of the greater in our thoughts. Because this law that doesn't understand large or small, that doesn't understand limit or limitless, it just goes. It's up to us to determine the boundaries from which it experiences life, it expresses life. And it does within boundaries. Boundaries are very different from limits. Boundaries just discern and describe and shape things. Without boundaries, all of us would be running around here like, Hughes or whatever. We wouldn't have any barriers to any way of seeing who we are. You see, boundaries are very important, and we can set those boundaries up through our consciousness. It's kind of like we're spiritual chemists in a laboratory of divine creation, where all the elements are available to us through our thinking, through our consciousness. Science of mind has a very cool name when you think about it. Science. What is science? Science is how things work. And mind. Well, Dr. Holmes described mind as God, the thing itself. So then science of mind is how God works. The way it works is it works through us, through our thinking. Let's accept that. If we can accept that, then we begin to experience more tomorrow than we did yesterday through our living in this day. We can reap the harvest of our good. It's kind of interesting that we're in the middle of reaping the harvest of our good and talking about that on the day after the harvest moon last night, which we didn't get to see. But it was great because we had clouds, we had rain. Oh my goodness, we had rain. Felt so good. I went out walking in it. Somebody was singing in the rain. Anybody see Cherie posting her thing? Singing in the rain. Yes. So we're in this position because of the way it works. Because of the way it works, we're in this position to reap our harvest at our own demand, at our own requirement. But it's something we must choose to do. You know, Barbara Walters. What a great interviewer. What a great interviewer. She's 92. Yeah, still kicking. 92. One of her favorite interviews was with Cher. And what she liked about that interview is she asked Cher what she was afraid of. And Cher said she's afraid that she would live a safe life, that she would not make choices that were difficult, that she would become fearful of making mistakes, that she would not live a well-lived life by saying yes to life. I love that idea. And when we have this thing called life and the way that it works, we can practice that idea that Cher's talking about because we have a power available to us that will reward us for not making safe choices, that will reward us for a life well lived, for a thought well conceived and well executed. In fact, it will help us execute that life. So as spiritual chemists, when we are in this lab, what shall we create? What shall you create? Creation is actually quite simple. When we think about it's just our thoughts. It's the way it works. And it becomes very simple when we begin to trust that it is working. And when we do begin to trust it, we can be somewhat like one of my favorite quotes from Pierre Teilhard de Chardin. I love this quote of his, where he says that someday, after we have mastered the winds, the waves, the tides, and gravity, we shall harness the energies of love. Then, for the second time in history of the world, we shall have discovered fire. Our thinking fires the imagination of the Spirit to create for us great and marvelous things in our lives. But it happens through how we think, and it happens through the process of the way it works. And so it is. I just so love these first 4 chapters of Dr. Holmes' book. It just lights me up. They said some people have trouble reading Emerson, and for Holmes, he said that reading Emerson was like drinking water, and for me, reading Holmes is like drinking water. I just guzzle it up. It's good stuff. So here's our affirmation for today, which says, the creative nature of Spirit works for me by working through me, because I recognize, believe, and trust in its power. Yes, by and by.
Okay.
Okay, let's do our revealing prayer together. And of course, it's called the revealing prayer. Why? Because it's already here. It's already here. Everything that we desire is already existing in this thing called life. The manifest universe is infinite. Through our process of thought, we congeal, we distill, we compress this infinite creative power into that thing, which is our desire. It's actually quite simple. So in this moment, we do not have to effort. We simply rely and trust. But we do that first by focusing our thoughts, focusing our consciousness. Where do you want that to go? Where do you want to direct it in this moment in your life? What's calling forth? What's touching your heart? Feel the energy of how you want to feel as a result of what you're looking for. Maybe it's a thing, that's okay. Maybe it's something for someone else, that's even better. Maybe it's something for the world, that's fantastic. But what I want you to focus on is not the thing, but the feeling behind the thing. That feeling then drops down into the subconscious level. And remember what I talked about. The subconscious mind is sending out so much power. Let's align the subconscious with the conscious and then double down on that directive consciousness. And in this moment, I know that we are doing that collectively. For we are experiencing the one mind and the one power individualized to each and every one of us. And through this directed thought, through this conscious awareness of this power that is greater than we are, but is which a part of what we are, and allows us to use it because it is us, all of that means that we can sit in a place of assurance, relaxation, embodiment, understanding, and acceptance. That this thing is moving forward, creating experiences for us to walk into that bring us into this harmonious, living, loving life. It shows up as right relationships. It shows up as perfect employment. It shows up as that right living condition. It shows up as a planet that is healed, an ecosystem that is repairing itself, a group of people that are smiling at each other, that are reaching down with one hand down and one hand up to lift and pull at the same time, that are working in unison, in unity, in common unity, in community. So we allow this well-being to well up through us and then percolate out like that wave of love that we sent at the beginning of the service. We send out this wave of unfoldment for the highest good for each and every person in our consciousness in this moment, be it ourselves or another. And know that this word does not return unto us void. It is landing in that space of infinite mind and law to become the experience of which we are focused on here and now. So I allow this to be with a deep sense of gratitude as I release this prayer for each and every one of us into that infinite law with these sweet words. And so it is. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. It's like I've never done this before. What's next? All right, so we've got our ways to give. Oh, this is fun. I don't know if you've done it yet. We have our new website is up. Now, when websites start, I'm learning all these different things. It takes a while for them to populate all the pages. So there's still some stuff that's showing up, which is great. That means I want you to go to the website many times over the next week to see what new things show up on it. All kinds of new stuff's going to keep coming up because as we learn more about it, it's kind of a growing, living entity. We will grow it and it'll evolve. And so check it out from time to time. There'll be new things there weekly. All right? So go check out the new website, and you can already use it for the donating button. We made sure that one worked. Yeah. And you got text to give is another way you can give, and you can always call the office or do the Rob way, which is send a check, snail mail. That's right, send a check. All right. We do this affirmation of abundance, which we really love to do because not only does it support the center, it supports the world, and it supports each and every one of us. Let's do it right here and now. And it says, divine love is doing its perfect work here and now. Divine love harmonizes. Divine love adjusts. Divine love prospers. Divine love foresees everything and richly provides every good thing for Center for Spiritual Living, Simi Valley, and the world now. Divine love is victorious. Here are your announcements for the week, and ushers are passing by right now. Bless the basket if you're a regular giver. Do it in the conscious way.
I'm going to try something a little different. Let's do this a little sort of a call and response thing. I'll say a line, you repeat it. This is an old CSL song. I am so blessed.
So blessed.
I am so blessed.
I am so blessed.
I am so grateful.
I am so grateful.
I am so blessed.
I am so blessed.
And so it is.
And so it is. Right on. So last week, were you all here? Who was here last week? Didn't Joe kick it with his song? Yeah. Well, he's going to do it again. Dun, dun, dun. All right.
Check.
Joe.
Keep in mind these words are simple, but they're powerful.
Yes.
And embody them.
Mm-hmm.
Me and God. Nothing in life can get me down when I'm living from the inside out. There's so much love around me. Love is all that there is. Love, and that's all there is in love. You can count on it, and love, and that's all there is. Love, and you can count on it. Come on. Nothing people in love know what to do. They're in a game that they can lose. When asked what their secret is, they say, you want more love, you have to give it. Love, come on and sing. That's all there is in love. And you can count on it, and love, and that's all there is. Love, and you can count on it.
Again.
Love, and that's all there is in love. And you can count on it, and love, and that's all there is. Love, and you can count on it. Love, and that's all there is. Love, and you can count on it. Love, and that's all there is. Love, and you can count on it.
Everybody sing. Oh,
Love, and that's all there is. Come on and stand up. I'll sit up straight. And love, and that's all there is. Love, and you can count on it.
break it down.
Love, and that's all there is. And love, you can count on it. And love, and that's all there is. Love, and you can count on it. Love, and that's all there is. And love, and you can count on it. And love, and that's all there is. Love, and you can count on it. Love, and you can count on it. Love, and you can count on it. Love, and you can count on it.
Woo-hoo!
We can count on you, baby. Thank you, Joe. Love. There it is. Love, and you can count on it. That's sweet service. Lovely, lovely. Oh, so much support. It's a lovely village. It puts this together. Ron Young, he's everywhere. He's doing it all. He's sitting in the lobby holding down the fort. Getting back up from Linda Moore and from Becky Jacobson. We've got Dee Malloy, who comes here, and she does so much stuff. You may not even know it. In fact, we probably wouldn't be in here if it weren't for Dee, because I think she unlocks the doors. So we definitely need her here. Thank you so much. Costa jumping in the booth. It's so great. Getting support back there from Danny Taylor, who's helped us set things up as well. Thank you so much for that. Isn't it fun to hear Danny Taylor say it in the service? Did you just like that, Lane Taylor? Yeah, because her son's name. It's a great, yeah, it's her son's name. Yeah, yep. John, Volunteer of the Month. Awesome on the slides today. Thank you. Reverend Rob, awesome prayer, good reading, and he's available for you after service. This man is like zeroes in on principle. He totally is. So if you like a prayer after service, quick. These aren't long sessions. They're in, they're out, under the exit sign, and you can exit whatever's not working in your life. And Cherie Deeds, great idea to do the One Voices thing today in the absence. Steve Fowler,
and
Randy
Lucas
Jones,
on bass this
yes, and we got Bob. We got Bob Townley. Bob Townley on bass. I was going to leave him out. I was going to call him out.
Job.
Thank you so much. He just joined us. You guys were up in Bakersfield for a while. Is that right? That's correct. Bakersfield, and now we got him so much. And his lovely wife Lena. Thank you so much for being here and for stepping in when John took John Bellis took a day off, and
Wait,
now
John-
we can
well,
give him more days off.
He's gigging. Just so you know, if you want to head down to Pepperdine University, that's where John and Lynn and their band, Fam Damley, are playing at the Big 9/11 event at Pepperdine University.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, the annual event. And thanks for Cheryl Robinson-Collins and for
Yes.
Lane Taylor, the L's. So good for that. Reverend Nancy is back in the back with Joyce as the Guardians of the Cosmic Kid Galaxy today. So grateful for them. And then Kathy and Cheryl will be supporting the office staff later on. So love for everybody. Thank you so much. All right. This Tuesday night, we begin the Foundations class. If you'd like to participate, you can sign up, send me an email. You can put a name on the card out there. We'd love to have you. We have a few folks that have signed up for it. It's going to be great. We're going through the foundational concepts of the science of mind. It's a really fun class. And if you haven't had class with me, then you should try it out because I can get kind of crazy and we can have a good time. It's a lot of fun. And we learn a lot. It's not just fun. It's about learning. And we do that as well. So grateful to all of you for all of that support. And now let's do our benediction, and we will sing some more, and then you get to go home.
Yeah.
All right. All right. And the first Sunday of football, isn't it?
It is. That's why.
Competing with tennis. How do they do that? Anyway, here we go. All right, let's stand and do this, the benediction. Come on, stand up. We're going to go. This will get you ready to walk out the door. See, this is what we're doing. It's our version of Catholic Church. Okay. I'm at home in the heart of God. My life is anchored in truth. I can never be separate. I live in the consciousness of peace. I release all fear. I am living love. All right.
Love be with you, peace unfold you, spirit lift you, breathe it in, truth come through you, may good flow to you, let joy renew you, till we meet again. Love be with you, ooh, love be with you, ooh, love be with you, ooh, love be with you, ooh. All together, hand in hand, we see the light and take a stand, and we are changing a whole new life for you and me. Take your path and set it free and share this blessing. Love be with you, peace unfold you, spirit lift you, breathe it in, truth come through you, make it flow to you, let joy renew you, till we meet again. Love be with you, ooh, 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 love be with you.
Love be with you. See you all Tuesday night for class, Wednesday night for this thing called you.
Count it out. Mwah, mwah. Look at that. Look at you guys go. I don't remember what day it was, and I didn't notice what time it was. All I know is that I fell in love with you, and if all my dreams come true, I'll be spending time with you. Every day's a new day in love with you. Cupid, we don't need nothing. And every time I see your face, my mind starts to wander. And if all my dreams come true, I'll be spending time with you. I love you more today than yesterday, not as much as tomorrow. I love you more today than yesterday, but darling, not as much as tomorrow. No need to now be on your way. I thank the Lord for love like ours that grows ever stronger. That I always will be true. I know you feel the same way too. I love you more today than yesterday, but not as much as tomorrow. I love you more today than yesterday, but darling, not as much as tomorrow. I think Cheryl's having a little fun.